Hello everyone, fast intro as the reason behind this video wants it short and snappy. So here you go. This is a reply to alanhm2000's video that tried to rip into my video on that idiot attacking politically correct language. Now alanhm is pretty cool. Another dude on the SYT server. A cool server that I sadly haven't been active on in months as I was too busy with school and other stuff like that. Now I want to make clear that I don't have a problem with this dude. That I think he is generally pretty cool even though we often disagree. As I'll be ripping into him a lot in the next 9 minutes or so. Now we already start out with one massive problem. He seemed to have missed the entire point of the video. My goal of that video, as I clearly stated at the start, wasn't to defend PC culture. It was to rip that dude's arguments apart. I don't have a stance on PC culture. I have a stance against stupid reasoning. And as Alan missed the point of the video, you know that his tearing into it will fail. You are going to attack something that wasn't my point, therefore not ripping into my video. Instead, you rip into your idea of what my video is, which is rather easily proven not to be correct. Now, Alan seems to have 3 points. 2 of them absolutely suck, and the last one I just disagree with. And he was pretty unordered, as I think he just pulled everything out of his ass. I'll be going over his points one by one, and I have nothing against pulling shit out of your ass. That's how Let's Plays work, and it's how I do many of my weekend videos. But it doesn't lead to good arguments. And I have to say that this would result in me not being interested normally. If you can't make a point or argument, I generally don't care. Of course, that it is directed towards my video makes me care a whole lot more, but seriously. Making sure you finish thoughts, that you make sure your points are largely in the same place and not to repeat yourself all the bloody time would easily improve your video a lot. And just for fun, I'll try to make a video like his, but way better. And I'll just start by adding a link to his video. Something I hope he just forgot. Something his video needed way more than mine will, as I'll simply summarize his points. Something he also forgot to do. And I'll make sure that my video is structured. Like I said, I have nothing against Alan. He seems like a nice dude. But I won't hold anything back. That's not what my channel is about. And my visuals will be just as relevant as his. His was just him talking into the camera. Mine will just be some gameplay. And of course visual or textual aid if useful. Let's go over his 3 points. One of his big points was that my video was too long, which is odd as he also has video that easily break the 20-minute mark. His point was that I could easily deliver my message in like 10 minutes. Well, no shit. I can do it in 5 seconds. Everything this dude says is wrong. There, that's the message of the video. That wasn't the point of the video though. The point was to show why everything that dude said is wrong. I generally make videos like the ones I watch. That video was made in the couple months where I watched a fuck ton of people like Logic. That's also where I got the style of playing the original video and then placing myself in between. Alan, you probably don't want to look him up. He has a fair number of videos that break 50 minutes. What I thought of the original video shouldn't be important. No one should care about what I think. Almost no one should generally care about what anyone thinks. What someone thinks isn't fucking important. What's interesting is why someone thinks that. That's what I wanted to explain. Explaining why takes time. And a script, which I had. I cut out everything that didn't matter, I only kept what I really wanted to say. No fluff or endlessly repeating myself. And yes, I think that Alan's video had that. A lot. And I linked it in the description, unlike he did, so you can check it out for yourself. And that why is important will become clear in the next part. You see, that why is so important because without it you easily leave out half the what as well. His next point was that I'm Dutch. Yes, And that I live in the Netherlands. Also yes. And that I have the Dutch culture. Once again, yes. And that Dutch and United States culture is very different. Well, isn't that kind of fucking obvious? So? No, really, that's where his argument ends. He clarifies that I have Dutch as my first language and that our cultures are different. That's it, I'm fucking serious. Dude, that isn't a point. It's a setup for a point like, slavery both existed in Africa and Europe, but how they thought about slavery was extremely different, and worked in completely different ways. So comparing the two really doesn't work. Or, on the language thing, you can argue that I didn't understand the crippled point in the original video, as I don't have a Dutch equivalent for that. Which would be dumb, as you can know words that don't directly translate into your first language. For instance, I know what law means, and Dutch does not have a good translation for law either. And doesn't really work as I explained that myself in my first video. And I don't even know how much of these standards of your first language apply to a dyslect, for whom the language part of the brain is fucked up from the start. But at least that would be a point. He doesn't make it. The closest he comes is that the original dude's arguments are subjective in the Netherlands, but objective in the USA. Which it isn't. That's not what objective means. Objective means that it's a fact. Facts are facts everywhere. Most people like Star Wars. That's an objective statement. It doesn't matter if you're in the US, or in the Netherlands, or on the fucking moon. Star Wars is good is a subjective statement. It can be argued that it's not. It doesn't matter if all the people around you agree that Star Wars is good. It's still subjective. Don't first make the argument that I can't possibly understand because I'm Dutch, and then make me explain to you what objective is. And now for the last point, the only actual argument he has. People shouldn't be forced to change how they talk. I don't think I ever advocated for that though. That brings up a point as well. He never seems to reference a point I made. Instead, he takes a stand against political correctness. And yes, I attack arguments against PC culture, so saying that I'm pro-PC would be a logical conclusion. If I didn't start the video with saying that I don't have a stance on PC yet. I clarify at the start that I'm debunking his arguments, as his arguments are shit. That's why the video is called PC Culture Isn't Bad because of these reasons. And yes, he also got the title wrong. I'm not saying that PC isn't wrong. I'm saying that these reasons aren't reasons why it's wrong. This would suggest to me that he didn't watch my video. But then he also says my name right, something people rarely do as it's not said like it's spelled. Complain against 8-year-old Phoenix for that one. And my video did get an extra 18 minutes of watch time recently, so at least someone watched the whole thing. So what conclusion should I draw? Either that he didn't listen to what I said, which would undermine his entire video, or he did listen, but doesn't care, which equally undermines his entire video. But since this is the only argument he has, let's rip into it as well. Even though it's just a different argument against PC culture and doesn't relate to my video. People shouldn't be forced to change how they talk. I'm not against this. But I will explain what will happen if you go against it, if you don't change your language. And I'll even show how Dutch I am by using a water analogy. Language changes. He also argued that it doesn't need to, which is also a bad point as this isn't about need. Language changes. That's just what it does. Welcome to the nature of language. This change in language is like a river that you stand in. This leaves you with two options. Be dragged away with it, or fight it. Being dragged away with it means that you change how you talk. Fighting it results in you creating a lot of resistance. If you want to fight it, be prepared for the consequences as they will come. I can feel for the argument he made in this point. Why would an aging person have to change his language? But well, he doesn't have to. But that does mean you have to fight the river. But it's not fair. Too bad. How about the old people that never asked for paying with bank passes? Well, you can still pay with checks, but the river flows. People are no longer prepared for a bloody check. How about people that never asked for things like digital ID? Well, you can keep not having one, but it will result in you not having the most convenient of tools if you want something from the government. How about all the people in the Netherlands in 2001 that were used to the Dutch gulden, but the Netherlands moved to euros? Too fucking bad. Change your currency or have no more money. That's not nice or fair? Who cares? That doesn't change the facts. Things change. Resist it or flow with it. I don't care. The results are obvious. And I'm not even going to touch your trans comparison. If you want my stance on transsexuals, I'm all for it with the correct oversight of qualified people. And in your argument, Christina would be fully justified in dropping you like a rock if you insist on calling her by her dead name. Oh, it will take time and effort to change the way I talk. I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. And if they do, I'll support you. Changing takes time, but that's not what you advocate for. You advocate against trying to change. And I'm fine with that. But you know the consequences. You get pushback from the river, and I'll be part of that river. And I didn't even touch statement like, I know you are a Let's Player and you don't usually cut out anything. Implying that I just sat down and just rambled for a bit, which is a rather odd thing to imply, as how that video looks should show that quite a bit of time was put into editing it. And just to hammer home how wrong it was, the entire video had a script. Same as this video. And if someone wants to use me writing a script as proof that my English is poor, you're an idiot. I use a script to stay on topic, to have a nice flow through it all. Just go to a Let's Play of mine and you'll see both that my English is fine and that the script is really nice to have if I want to stay on topic for more than half a sentence. And good god, that end rattle of links. So much fucking stuff. Who on earth wants to hear about the 7 places on the internet you are? You can just link them on your channel page. Let me show you how it's done snappy and not taking like a minute of a 10-minute video. This has been Vinix, saying farewell.